So now that I've finished watching the 10th and final episode of Making a Murderer, I gotta say, folks, I originally started doing these videos as as a way to comment on the shit that I see in the world that just desperately needs to be changed. Like this sudden fucking trend of hooker heels everywhere. The fuck is with this? I wouldn't mind the hooker heels so much if they knew how to walk in them, but they don't. They clop around like a fucking horse and ugh. And then I came across Making a Murderer. Now, I want everybody to remember that 10 years ago, when all this was going on, I actually did follow the trial at the time. I was in college, and my criminal law and procedure professor actually wanted us to keep an eye on it for extra credit. And so I'm not new to the case, but I am new to really paying as close of attention as I am. I am not new to the idea of supporting those that I feel that the justice system has failed. I was a very ardent supporter of the West Memphis Three. I still am. And I am every bit the ardent supporter of Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey because I don't believe that they were given a fair shake. And I've been asked by several commenters, do I believe that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are guilty? No, I don't. It just doesn't make sense. Stephen Avery spent 18 years in prison for something that he didn't do. He knew that Manitowoc County was looking very closely at him. I don't believe that he would have been so stupid or so arrogant as to commit a crime on his own property that would wind him back up in jail. That just doesn't make sense. I believe that if Stephen Avery was going to commit any kind of a crime, it would have been off of his property and, at least a cursory job of attempting to cover up his culpability. That's what I believe. I do not believe that Brendan Dassey had anything to do with it. I believe that he was coerced by police. I do support Teresa Halbach. I believe her killer is still out there, and I believe that he is someone very close to the investigation. I'm a little on the fence on who it could be, though. Right now, Scott Taddick and Ryan Hillegas are both pretty high up on my suspect list. But we'll see. I will find out the truth. I am tenacious to a fucking fault, and I will figure it out. All I got to do is find the evidence to back it up, folks. But all the evidence that I have seen thus far, not just in the documentary, but also the documents and evidentiary reports that I have found online, do not bear out Avery's or Dassey's guilt at all. And the fact that the Wisconsin Supreme Court won't even take a look at the case is bullshit. At the very least, they could take a look at the case. At the least! I mean, for fuck's sake. I personally feel that Ken Kratz is using the sudden surge of interest in this case to throw off attention from his sexting scandal. He talks about his reputation, his livelihood, is this, is that, is the other. And he's pointing fingers away from him as to everybody else who's culpable in this scandal of his. But he's the one who did it. And he doesn't want to take responsibility. And, that alone, I would feel would warrant a review of all of his case for at least the last 10 years. I want to know why that's not being done. I want to know what lackadaisical standards the state of Wisconsin has that they're not even thinking along those lines. That's pathetic. Folks, in the last video, I said that I would inform you as to ways that you could support the Brendan Dassey, Stephen Avery Defense Fund. A fan of mine and I have designed a t-shirt concept through Teespring, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description of the video for you to click on. The majority of the proceeds will go to the Brendan Dassey, Stephen Avery Defense Fund. And on top of that, it'll put a little bit more of the spotlight on Ken Kratz while we're at it. Because, it's not just enough to get them out of prison, folks. Justice must be served for all involved now. Now, not only does justice need to be served for Teresa Halbach, but justice now must be served for Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that link in the videos below, or in the video description below. I urge you guys to buy a t-shirt. It's $20, 20 lousy bucks. I mean, come on, that's a pizza. Of course, the chunky one would equate it to food. Just saying, pizza supporting a worthy cause. It's up to you, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and, sign off now. Leave any questions and comments below. I will continue with my analysis of Brendan Dassey's March 1st statement, and I will be presenting my analysis in a future video. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.